Good morning. Thanks for joining me at Coffee with Corey. If it looks like I'm rested, it's because I am. We spent a majority of the week in Florida. Primarily went down to celebrate Cassidy's 20th birthday. She took some good friends down with her and they had a great time lounging at the pool, hanging out at the beach, eating food at great restaurants, and just overall enjoying the Florida life. And of course, Joss and I loved every minute of it. Anytime we get some good quality time with Cassidy, it's always a joy. So, and the bonus was Connor made the drive down from the Destin area where he lives, which I always reference it as Destin because that seems to be what people know. But it's a bit of a drive for him. It's about 7 hours, and but he made the trip, and it was wonderful to see him. I specifically always love it when Connor comes down because he's the one that will go out and explore with me. We got up, what was it? I guess all 3 mornings that he was there, went and explored some trails and did a 7.5 mile walk on the beach. Full moon. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Got to see some manatees right up close, and overall just a wonderful time. Meanwhile, back in the homeland, Pierce was in his element, hanging out at Lake Okoboji with his buddies. You know, and I had a couple people that I was talking to when we got back this week, like, oh, well, you know, wouldn't you want Pierce to come down with you? And I'm like, well, yeah, I want Pierce to come down if he wants to come down to Florida. But I remember being 17, and when you're surrounded with good friends and in your element, you know, sometimes that's more important than hanging out with mom and dad and trying to discover new ways to have fun. So I'm a big believer in letting the young ones do the things that bring them the most joy, and when those intersect with us having great times as family, that's a bonus. So overall, a good week for all of us, and I couldn't be more blessed. Speaking of which, the real estate type item that I want to touch on this week really comes back to one of the books that's laying in front of me. I had a couple people reach out to me over the last handful of weeks and were curious, you know, what are the books that you have laying there? Well, I think I've referenced both of them, but over the last episodes of the last several months. But American Boy by my buddy Tim Schut is all about his life and his family, and you know, what made him to be the person he is, and then also touches on the medical struggles that he's going through, and just it's really a testament to the American spirit and the strength that this one particular man and his wonderful family as a collective unit, the strength that they have and the love that they have for each other. It always brings me a good sense of inspiration every time I pick it up and I just read little snippets of it. So I wanted to share that with you. And one of the things that I really wanted to point out about my friend Tim Schut is, as a lot of you know, if you go through my phone, I have thousands and thousands of contacts in my phone. And interestingly enough, a lot of them were born out of introductions from Tim Schut. The guy knows more people than anybody I've ever met. And you know, I've told this story before, but when I first got into real estate 20 plus years ago, Tim was my biggest champion. That guy believed in me possibly before I even believed in myself, from a standpoint of just being able to get the job done for people. And he's out talking to people about me and introducing me to people, and it really helped me get my start. And you know, it was a springboard to do the things that we've been able to do. So thank you very much for that, Tim, and thank you for writing an inspirational book and for continuing to be a good friend to me. So, and speaking of good friends, thanks to all of you for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time at Coffee with Corey.